You are the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. Jim Rohn said it decades ago, but he left out the uncomfortable part. What if your 5 people are keeping you broke? This video is going to make some people angry because I'm going to say something that feels disloyal. Your friends might be the reason you're stuck. Not because they're bad people, not because they want you to fail, but because their standards have become your standards. Their beliefs have become your beliefs. Their ceiling has become your ceiling, and you don't even realize it's happening. There's a study from Harvard that tracked people over decades. They found that if your friend becomes obese, your chance of obesity increases by 57%. Not because they're feeding you, not because they're forcing you, but because their normal becomes your normal. Same thing happens with money, with ambition, with what you think is possible. If everyone around you thinks $100,000 a year is rich, you'll subconsciously cap yourself there. If everyone around you is struggling, you'll feel guilty for wanting more. If everyone around you plays small, you'll shrink to fit in. Then I'm going to show you exactly how this works and what to do about it without becoming a sociopath who abandons everyone they love. Let's talk about why this happens. Your brain has something called mirror neurons. These neurons fire both when you do something and when you watch someone else do it. They're the reason you yawn when someone else yawns. They're also the reason you start to think, act, and believe like the people around you. This isn't weakness, it's biology. Your brain is literally designed to sync with your environment. Dr. Nicholas Christakis at Yale studied social networks for over 20 years. He found that behavior spread through networks like viruses. So if your friend gains weight, your probability of gaining weight increases. 3 degrees of separation. That's how contagious environment is. Now apply this to money and ambition. If your friends think wanting to be rich is greedy, that belief infects you. If your friends complain about their jobs but never do anything about it, that passivity infects you. If your friends mock people who work hard or go after big goals, that cynicism also affects you. You can't outthink your environment. It's impossible because your environment isn't just influencing your conscious choices. It's programming your subconscious defaults. The people around you determine what you think is normal, what you think is possible, what you think you deserve. And if those people have low standards, you will absorb those standards whether you want it or not. Quick pause, if this is resonating, hit subscribe. I talk about real stuff that determines whether you win or lose in life. All right, let's keep going. Let me introduce a concept I like to call the anchor effect. When a ship drops its anchor, it can still move, but only within the radius of the anchor chain. It has the illusion of freedom, but it's actually tethered. Your friends are anchors, some of them anyway. They create a radius of acceptable behavior. Go too far outside that radius, it's too ambitious, too successful, too different, and you feel the pull. Jokes about Mr. Big Shot, the guilt trips about not having time anymore, the subtle comments that make you feel like you're changing in a bad way. That pull isn't random, it's the anchor working. And most people, when they feel it, stop. They shrink back to acceptable. They self-sabotage to fit in. They cap their income at a level that doesn't make their friends uncomfortable. And I've seen it 100 times. Someone starts winning and their friends can't handle it. So the person subconsciously slows down to preserve the relationship. They'd rather stay broke than feel isolated, and that's the hard truth. If you want an uncommon life, you will have to do uncommon things. And uncommon things feel weird to common people. Your growth will be uncomfortable for people who aren't growing. That's not their fault, that's just reality. So the question is, are you willing to be uncomfortable for your future? Or will you stay comfortable for their present? So what do you actually do about this? I'm not going to tell you to cut everyone off and become a hermit. That's not realistic or healthy. So here's the nuanced approach. Strategy 1, audit your circle. Write down the 5 people you spend the most time with. Next to each of their names, write their income, their ambition level, their mindset about money. And be honest. Are these people pulling you up or are they weighing you down? This isn't about judging them, it's about being honest about the influence. Strategy 2, expand before you contract. Before you cut anyone, add people. So find communities, groups, masterminds with people who are where you want to be. This could be online, local, it could be paid. The goal is to add new anchors that are set higher. As you spend more time with these new people, you'll naturally spend less time with the old ones. You don't have to have a dramatic breakup, just a gradual rebalancing. Strategy 3, protect your vision. Stop sharing your goals with people who can't support them. Not everyone deserves access to your dreams. Share your ambitions with people who've achieved similar things. Keep them private from people who will project their limitations onto you. Strategy 4, accept the guilt. If you're growing and your friends aren't, you will feel guilty, and that's normal. But guilt is not a reason to stop. You can love people and outgrow them at the same time. You can stay connected without staying anchored. The friendship might change, and that's okay. Real friends want you to win, even if it's uncomfortable. If you're still here, you're serious about this. Subscribe, I post videos every week for people who refuse to stay average. So let's land this. Your friends are not your enemies, but their standards might be your ceiling. And until you audit your environment, you'll never know how much it's costing you. So here's what I want you to do. Look at your circle, honestly, and then ask yourself, if I observe their beliefs, where do I end up in 10 years? If I match their standards, what does my life look like? If their normal becomes my normal, am I okay with that? If the answer is no, you have some work to do, not because they're bad people, but because you want a different life. And you can't build a different life with the same environment. And your environment is the most powerful force in your life. Choose it carefully. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.